Well, hello everybody. Good afternoon. I got lots of messages, especially Westerners, Saskatchewan, Alberta, going through vaccine passports, and everybody, whoa, what do we do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And the answer is very simple, as it's always been the same answer. There is nothing any Canadian can do about loss of civil rights, because Canada, unlike many countries within thousands of mile radius of Canada, that's USA and even Russia, there is nothing you can do about it, because again, there are no provincial constitutions, none whatsoever, in all of Canada's regions. No premier has ever, since it was called for in 1867, you will find it for the umpteenth time in Section 92 of your federal Constitution. Right there, clearly it's listed. Your civil rights belong to the provinces. Now, let's just look at Alberta. All the other provinces are as shitty, if not shittier, than Alberta. They have a very limited Bill of Rights. When I say that, it's 8 pages long. And do you know what it does? It photocopies basically the rights of your charter, which are Section 91. And worse, they're subject to the divine politician's interpretation, like every other monarchy, regardless of constitutional monarchy, in the history of 900 years, all the way back to Magna Carta. You can all find this out yourself. It's very simple to look at it. No queen, king, or any divine politician in a constitutional monarchy. That's what we are, a monarchy system. Get used to saying it, because in a lot of ways it's very much worse than communism. You have class structure. You have a divine leader who is of God. He is your God, or she is your God. You elect a God over you. You don't have really any divine civil rights. You never have. Canada's never had that. And every other monarchy in the world, and all of the grand monarchies before this time, 1945, were all exactly like this. Serfs and peasants on the Lord, the first class monarchy politicians' land. You all worked in huts as serfs and slaves. Now, First Peoples, they met that first-class citizen. It's all over federal parliament. It's all over federal Quebec parliament. They both call theirs parliaments in the federal term. And it's all over there. There's lots of evidence. I went through all of it. It's there. You, the loser, low-life degenerate, second and third class. Some second class can afford to buy their way out, but for a large majority of business holders, you're subject to the first class. They will crush you whenever they want to. The third class, you are always subject to whatever the divine politician decides. Have you liked this yo-yo up and down, depending on the province, over and over, going through waves and waves of literally bullshit? As you've watched your rights, oh, you got some, oh, we take it away, oh, you got some, we take it away. Not fun, not in any realm of normalcy. It's not good. You see different states operate in the USA the way they want to. They accept it, they go forward. It's all written constitutionally. If you don't like the state you're in and how the Constitution is, you can challenge for amendment, try to win the majority, or you move. That's reality. At least it's written there for you. You know what to expect. In Canada, your region can change at the snap of a finger or after any election. You don't really know what you're going to get or what's going to be taken from you. Hard as a third-class citizen working every day to plan for extreme reductions in your wages or extreme changes in trade and domestic trade or transportation, when at the snap of a finger the politician can change it literally overnight. That's what happens. It's very hard to predict anything. Courts, Canada, I cannot predict court cases in Canada. The law of precedent is bullshit, and it's been proven time and time again. I have stacks of court cases going back into the Crown, what I'm doing with my political party, why I'm investing so much energy in Crown. Because that's what no Canadian seems to understand. All institutionalized by a large margin. They've got you all locked down and locked into a system that is utterly stupid, wrong. It has nothing to do with being ruled by competent persons, but by divine persons. You can get a radical idiot. You can get a completely incompetent SOB, but if he's a populist, he may very well, or she may very well take all of your rights away, destroy your lives and livelihood, and you're subject to that in a circumstance for 4 years. Now, you can look at USA, can run it down. It's a very old institution. They have lots of problems too. Federally, they need some amendments, but mighty billionaires can be shot down by a predictable Supreme Court that follows their rule of law and follows the letter of their Constitution, like it or not. The reality is it protects the American people, not only from themselves, but from tyrants or imbeciles or complete incompetence. It can't exist or not very long in the United States of America. Joe Biden's going through it just as Donald Trump went through it. You mess with the bull, you get the horns. The judiciary in the United States is independent. It's one of the best knife-edge independent judiciaries I've seen in all my great studies and all of what I've looked at all over the world. Now, there's other countries, there's other highlights that make them better, but in that part, in the judiciary, you want a fully independent judiciary that follows the Constitution to the letter of the law. Like it or love it or hate it, it protects you, the people. That's what I'm proposing to do. With the greatest experts in the world, there is nothing I can do about the situation now except for one avenue, and that requires every Canadian to get behind residential Indian school genocide. The only case that can be picked up out of Canada and handed off to the powers. That's the only case that even ranks among the worst of the worst, and it does. China put us there. As South Africa was put there by both Russia and China many years ago, 1993. And you know what happened? They got full democracy. Full democracy. Accused again, like all monarchies, they were a republic with embedded constitutional monarchy. Embedded, meaning they took all the crown powers from the UK, just as Canada has done for the elite politician, to make themselves divine. Didn't remove any of that from the Constitution. Call it a republic, call it any form of government you like. Communism is found in republics. We are not a communist because we're not all equal and one elite system for the few. We are a multi-tiered class structure built on lies, and we put divinity in a man or woman to run us for 4 years. It corrupts every individual. It's like Lord of the Rings, the one ring to rule them all. Provinces have the other rings, the 13 rings, the 12 rings. Think of it like that, but it's a crown. That is your Section 92. It is how they're able to take away all your rights impose a vaccine passport. And there are lawyers out there. I know the Justice Center's going for it. Good luck. I don't believe, after what I've read and seen with the Supreme Court of Canada and many Superior Court cases across all provinces and in the territories, I have not seen any lawyer breach the Crown. When the Crown says no, the judges rule with the Crown. Lawyers accept it too. And if you can't and you continue on, you get disbarred. They swore a Crown oath. Look it up on Google. All justices in Canada, all lawyers read their oath. It's the same oath the police, the military, all government workers, all politicians appointed or other. It is a first-class system. If you're not in it, you're under it. You may be a successful businessman or woman, and you may have a lot of money, but they can take that from you anytime they like. And it's happened to lots. Big falls from grace. You either play in their system, administer their civil rights atrocities, which do overlap human rights. But we are not in the International Court of Justice. Canada removed itself from binding world law, the UN Charter. We are a rogue UN state. Why are we like that? Because we're built exactly like Nazi Germany, South Africa, and the list goes on and on. Now, they do catch up to these countries. Canada has been very, very sneaky, but they have a bloody trail in their wake, and it's called Indian residential school genocide. This is available to Canadians if you can't come together to form a party and win an election and narrative for full constitutionalism. I'm going to present it, but I'm not going to get it for 2023 unless there's an early election call. We should be registered by Christmas, but it looks like 2025, 4 years away. Now, if you want this immediate, you have to let all the COVID go, because there's no court in the world that's going to hear your case. And the ICJ would hear your case, just like Nuremberg, but Canada quit it. And you give your divinity to the politicians. You don't even utilize the fundamental UN law that almost every other country but 16 out of 205 incorporates, the law of sovereignty. Your country said no. They left that portion, as they've left all binding laws and signed all garbage can laws from the UN. This is my greatest problem with PC, Maxime Bernier, and why I truly believe Maxime Bernier works for the Liberals. He's a secret Liberal, angry at the Conservatives. Not that the Conservatives are any better. They're not. They're just as destructive, just as evil, maybe a couple notches lower than the Liberals, but it all depends on which rights are important to you, because both these parties have torn them away from you time and time again. You're talking to an historical human rights activist, civil rights activist, decades and decades of fighting the commies, fighting the Conservatives, fighting the Liberals, fighting the NDP, fighting for the average Joe Jane. It's what brought me to this system to change. It's why we need the PCC, Party of the Canadian Constitutionalists. This is what we need to do. Now, I can't fix what's wrong because it's unfixable in the system we're in, and we've quit too much of the UN. Your government quit too much. And not only did they quit it, they fabricated a new entity and called it the same thing. That's how blatantly sadistic and sick this country really is. Again, it's not communism. They can enforce communism on aspects of a society, but they can also enforce extreme capitalism on sectors of a society, as long as the money flow goes to that divine socialist politician who doesn't really work for any of their money. They steal it. That's what makes it even worse than communism. We're extremely, extremely corrupt, and it's not getting any better. It's why all monarchies fail. It's why there was colonial world wars 1 and colonial world war 2. Look at all the players, all colonials. What makes a world go that insane? Well, colonialism, crown divine power. Putting your faith in a man or woman over a divine other, which is whatever you choose that to be. It's a personal choice. Just never, ever worship your fellow man. Never put somebody on a pedestal as a human being, because human nature is ugly. It's there to destroy. It's animalistic. It's Mother Nature. That's why we write laws and constitutionalism, to get away from that. 9 out of 10 who come into that system and get that power, it goes straight to their head. Doesn't matter, call them whatever party. Without rules of governance, how to govern, and absolute accountability, you will be bent over. Your pants will be pulled down, and you will be fisted in your rear end. Every time. Just give it time. If you all don't see it now, beyond vaccines, beyond passports, beyond all of it, there's a lot more worse things, like the historic inflation beyond all measure compared to your gross reductions in your standard of living. No one even focuses on that. I don't think people realize, because people wait till all of a sudden the dollar doesn't cut it, till they lose their home, they're having trouble getting groceries. That's all coming, and not in any small manner. It's coming in a large manner, and it's coming quickly. It's no accident this election was called. It's no accident Aaron O'Toole gives the usual bullshit speech. It'll be 10 years and I'll balance the budget. Oh yeah. Oh sure. At your radical socialist Pierre Poilievre 178 policy and platform that you only capitalize on 6 points. Meanwhile, you inputs 172 extreme socialist principles. They're only going to be crank out the printing press. Harper did it. We're all going to do it. Let's get a whole bunch of people rich at the expense of the mass majority. Rape, pillage, plunder. Forget about tomorrow's generation. That's what you're all going to go through. And it's really sad when people are talking about elections, say, what's the best of the worst? I can't even answer that question. That's like saying, which gun do I use to shoot myself in the leg? A 9mm? A shotgun? I mean, which bullets do I use? I mean, come on, people. It's pretty sad. Pretty sad. I'll be hobbled, but at least I won't die. I mean, this isn't measurement sticks we should be using. But what do I know? I've only been at the game here for 4 straight years, full time. We'll see how it goes, but we're at it. And everybody, residential school genocide. That is the only way to straighten out Canada and have the superpowers come in and do what they did, which tremendously advanced many, many nations. People didn't even know. South Africa, they didn't want it touched. They fought back, putting in gross laws against the people for a decade, but it finally reared its head and they finally got put down. Now I've only been at it for 3 years. We'll see. It's either an election, which would be the best, win an election, but I'm prepared to go the route of an imposed constitution, because I guarantee you, all of you, when given sovereignty and given that exercise, you will all choose what's right, which will be full democracy, and I think we will get our rights. But it would be better to bring in our own experts and do it ourselves. Do it ourselves. Way cheaper and less likely to get abstract laws that actually have a negative impact, because the UNSC is not perfect themselves, but it's still better than what we're in now. This system is outlawed worldwide, and Canadians still don't realize. They just sign the check. You're going to find that you're running out of checks to sign. Venezuela kept printing money. They kept going radically, because no one cares. As long as you have full throttle control, who cares? Everyone's making money until the well dries up, till they say there's no more money to print. It isn't worth the ink. Then you're in trouble. That's reality. Thanks, that's my video. Share. That's the truth. Anyone can look it up. Ask any lawyer. They're going to tell you I'm 100% accurate. Just go call a lawyer and say, is it true? Is it true that our civil rights are in Section 92? Is it true that no province or territory since Canada's inception has ever decided to ratify a provincial constitution? It's a very easy answer. It is true. And the reason why is because your premiers want the autocratic power. There's crown attachments in our constitution. The first part of the 1867 leading up to Pierre Elliott Trudeau's charter, which there's been many charters over 900 years to Magna Carta, where the king can tell you to wipe your ass with your own charter because he or she or queen won't follow it. And what the hell are you going to do about it? They got the military, the police, and the justice system. Good luck. Have fun with your kangaroo court. Have fun trying to fight the police when you're on the wrong side of the law. Serfs and peasants, that is your future in this system. We started out one way and we never matured like the rest of the world. And it ain't getting any easier. Why do we have all this crown land? Wake up, people. Because you have no civil rights. What are civil rights? Property, businesses, work, all of it. There's so very, very many. And people don't realize. They just get bent over, raked over the coals, and it overlaps some of the most major human rights accomplishments since 1945. What all the soldiers died for, what they fought for. And you're all just sitting back in Canada, take it all away. Oh, don't worry about it, just head down, let the politician figure it out. Oh, my generation's okay. My kids are screwed. I don't even know what my grandkids are going to do. Great grandkids don't even want to think about that. What the hell kind of institutional society have we become? We don't even care anymore about our fellow man, our family members, or really even our children. It's sick. It's diseased. Just like the corrupt politicians that rule us today. Look at this atrocious shit mess right here in Canada, from one province to another, man against man, woman against woman. Divide and conquer, divide and conquer. And all the cattle just go with it. Go with it. Oh, this herd broke that way, that herd broke that way. We're not even the same pack anymore. Pretty sad. No national sense of well-being, no love of thy fellow man. Turn against each other as fast as the politician tells you to. And you'll see in this election, welcome to Justin Trudeau. You watch. It's coming on the 20th. And you can look at my timeline, you can look at my predictions, and I will likely be within my 2%. If not, nailing it, or close to. And the media made a big shark frenzy and everything else, but it's all just a game, a ruse. The math is there, the voter weights are there, the differences of provinces are there. If you haven't looked, Ontario, Quebec, all Liberal, man. All Liberal. Majority Liberal. They are 2/3 of the vote, and not all ridings are equal. Liberals got an extreme advantage here. It's game over. Welcome to Justin Trudeau. It's just a matter of, will he squeak in that majority? It's there. It's possible. That's how scary it is. People say it's all fixed, it's all fixed. Well, sure, it's been fixed since 1867. It has nothing to do with cheating or anything else. It has everything to do with inequality and absolute class structure. Welcome to Canada, a colonial, a constitutional monarchy where you all put the divinity into your politician. And you have no sovereignty whatsoever. You give that away. Everyone who migrates here or immigrates here, they all swear to it too. It's been like this since its inception, and nobody sees a problem with this. I don't know about you, but there'll be a cold day in hell before I take a knee for Justin Trudeau, Aaron O'Toole, or Jagmeet Singh and worship them like a god. You gotta have something cuckoo upstairs here. And you don't think that that goes to their head? You don't think that any one or all three of them or any other party won't go lunatic as soon as they get that crown? They all do. Sure, they play their TV roles and their makeup and they give their soft-spoken speeches, but it's what they pass through that parliament that is the truly terrifying part. I take the time to read all these bills and acts. I know the damage. COVID was a great distractor. Everybody says, oh my God, COVID, and everybody, either way you took this. But it's all the other damages to so very many of your rights and freedoms that are likely going to be gone forever until you all go nuts. Go run the streets red. That's the only way to change constitutional monarchies. And I don't really feel like a potato famine or losing my home, living in the street, to realize that, or standing in a breadline. But unfortunately for the majority, they will let it go that far, literally, until the wheels fall off. This is human nature too, and it's scary. All we can do is build the party and try. We can try to rally Canadians behind Indian residential school genocide. People who blow that off, you might as well pack up your tent and get in line to get your needle, and the anti-vaxxers, all the rest of it, because that's where you're heading, and there is nothing you can do about it in this country as it is. There's nothing I can do about it. Nothing. Look at Jason Kenney, flip-flop. Within 3 days, he flip-flop. Snap of a finger. I'm the autocratic politician, leader of my province. I own everybody's civil rights. Vaccine passport. We're not going to call it that. But here's a card you have to have, or you can't utilize any businesses, go to work in all these professions. And if you do, and you try to, and the employer does that, they're going to make you wear a mask while everybody else takes their masks off. So that kind of Star of David routine everybody's talking about, that will be your Star of David. They will ostracize you, segregate you. You'll see workplace violence after work. Is this any different than what they did to the homosexuals? Is it any different than what they did to the mental handicaps? Is it any different than they've done forever and a day to the Indian here in Canada, and they're still doing? No. People like this cycle. Look at the religious people, religious gatherings, celebrations. Look what they're doing to religious people now. Say, it's your turn. It's time for you to take one. When do the autocratic, guilty politicians take one? When are we going to rise up and say, hey, you know what? This is all too familiar. Each decade, when the political system starts to run into trouble, they find a small group that they can pick on, that they can get the majority on to divide everybody. And that way the government sails right through criminal, guilty, evil, but they sail right through. And none of you say a word about it. It's better to persecute another minority group than actually deal with the problem that's always been here right in front of your face. You're filthy, sleazy, criminal, conspiring, manipulative, thieving, socialist politicians. The true, full-blooded socialists. They use divine socialism, divine capitalism, all at all of your expenses. They'll remove either one or administer one on you whenever they want to. Meanwhile, stuff in their back pockets, getting filthily rich. Every one of them. That's the history of Canada. That's what makes Canada great, being a first-class autocratic politician, ass-kisser to the crown, in a outlawed system worldwide that all of your World War II heroes fought and gave their lives for to put to an end. And here we are today, just sucking it up like a big old bowl of hot shit. Can't get enough of that tasty, smelly, dirty shit. That's my video. Share. Get it out there. People need to be constantly told. They need to be told over and over, because that's human nature. Bye now.